Alright, thank you so much everyone for joining in and for watching this video. This is a video I made to help us learn how to install VS Code, set it up for our web project, and link HTML and CSS file. Everything will be very seamless, as I will be showing you right now how everything will go on this screen. Let's go. So the first thing you have to do is to open your browser, your favorite browser. I have Edge here, I have Chrome, and I also have Firefox on the other account. Every developer has more than one browser because sometimes browsers do mess up and we don't want mess ups. So you open your browser and then you type VS Code there. Just type VS Code like this. Press enter. Once you type it, you press enter and then you click on this first one. There will be several options, but don't worry about that. Just type this one. Make sure it is code, Visual Studio Code, and then you click on it. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to the official website of the Visual Studio Code. This is the editor that we use. This is a sample here. It's an editor that we use to edit our web application codes. Okay, now just scroll down to this place and see download for Windows. I am using Windows, so I'll be using download for Windows. If you are using other system that is not Windows, maybe Linux or Mac, you will find it here on other platforms. But you want to download for Windows, just click on download for Windows here. And once you click, it brings you to this page and say thanks for downloading VS Code. And then you can check it here. The progress is already going on. After your download is complete, your download will complete inside your downloads folder. You now need to go to your downloads folder and bring it up. How do you get there? Just click on this icon here, and then you have access to your Explorer, and then you click on downloads. This download that you are seeing here, you click on it to be able to see the one that you just downloaded, and you will see something that looks like this: VS Code user setup, blah whatever the version that they just released overnight. We're going to see it there. So once you see it, all you have to do is just double click on it and then the installation will start. I'm going to double click now. 1 2 3 go. Double click. Or if you know you cannot do if you cannot do double clicking, this is how you do it. This is setup, yes. So if you don't know how to do double clicking, just right click and click on open. So that one too can work. Right click and click on open, or you double click. So here you just click on I accept the agreement. The agreement is plenty, it's much. You don't need to read it because you have no choice, you have to accept. So I will accept the agreement, and then you click on next. The next thing you do is to click on next again, and then it's asking you that this folder is already exists. Would you like to install to that folder anyway? It's asking me this one because I've already installed VS Code on this place before. I uninstalled it for the purpose of this video. Assuming you have not installed before, it will not ask you. Well, there is no problem. Will I want to install it to the folder anyway? Yes, I want. And then it's asking me something here. It's asking me to continue. Click next. If you would like to select a different folder, click browse. Don't bother doing that, please. Just leave it like that and click on next again. When you get to this part where it's asking you for additional icons, just check all the boxes. Make sure you check all the boxes because they will be useful in the future. Okay, after you have checked all the boxes, you click on next again. And then it's asking you, it's showing you everything you have selected, showing you so that you can see, and if there is something you want to change, you can go back. But as of now, we are very okay. And the next thing we do is to click on install. And once you click on install, you give it like a minute or 70 or 80 seconds or so, a minute and 20 seconds, and then everything will be done as it's rolling down. So after it is done, we will have VS Code on our machine, and we are like 10% of the way to become a developer, a software developer or a web developer. So now VS Code is on 95%, and now it is finished. So it's asking me, should it launch VS Code? By default, it will check it. So don't do anything, just leave it like that and press finish. So the moment you finish installing and you click on that finish, it's going to bring you to this page, giving you your VS Code. This is your VS Code that you have just installed. This is how it looks. If you have a recent folder, it's going to show it here, but don't worry about those ones for now. You don't need all those ones at all. I'm going to click on this button to make it a small window, the one at the middle. Make it a smaller window like this, so that I can see the desktop area. So on this desktop area, I'm going to be creating a folder. So I will say show more option, then new, then folder, new, then folder. On your system, if you are not having Windows 10 or 11, you may not see that more option. But once you right click, you will be able to see new. Once you see new is even here. Good. New, then folder. new folder here. Okay, so new folder, I want to name it, let me rename it to training, and then I press enter. And then what I want to do is that I want to open this folder inside this VS Code, so that every file I'm creating inside this VS Code will be stored inside this folder for me automatically. So I will drag the folder and bring it on top of VS Code. You can drop it anywhere you want. You can drop it here, you can drop it here, anywhere you drop it is fine. But once you drop it, it's going to now register that, okay, you are working from this folder, and every file you create will be stored inside this folder now. Now, the first thing we are going to do, let's close this welcome. You don't need it now, and if you need it later, you can always bring it up. I can teach you that one later, but for now, we don't need it. So the first thing we need to do is to create an HTML file. Okay, before we create HTML file, I already have Live Server installed. So let me try to uninstall Live Server so that I can install it and you can see how it works. Right now, you can see this go live here. This go live at the bottom right corner shows that I have Live Server installed already on this machine. So let me uninstall it. I'll go to extensions. This is extension here. You click on it and then it brings this one. So you will type Live Server. When you type Live Server, it's going to bring all the options of Live Server that it knows. It's going to bring them up for you. The one that I installed is this one. So if you click it, it comes up on the right hand side. I want to uninstall it. Be watching this one, this bottom right corner. You will notice that it disappears after I uninstall. So I'm going to uninstall. Uninstall means remove it. I'm going to uninstall it now. And once I do the uninstalling, it should go away. It's not going. Yes, restart extension. So you click on restart extension so that it can complete it. Now you can see that it has gone away. That means I don't have Live Server on this machine again. And you can see that install is now showing on that same Live Server. You are going to be choosing the one that was made by Ritwick Day. And you can see that it already has 51.8 million downloads already. And you will be the next one that will be adding to that number. So when you click on this word install, either you click on this one or this one, is still the same thing. You are going to be having your go live button back down here. That is the only extension that you will need to install right now. You don't need any other extension for now. Okay, we have already installed our extension. What next? Now let's create our files. The first file we'll be creating is HTML file, which is index.html file. Why do we put .html file there? I'm going to be naming it index.html. The part after the dot, which is this part tells us what kind of file are we going to be what kind of code are we going to be writing inside it. So if we are going to be writing HTML files that tells us things that we show on the page, we use .html as the extension. If it is style that we want to be writing, we use .css as the extension. So index.html, I'll just press enter and then the file will be created for me like this. Let me bring up on-screen keyboard so that you can see the keys that I'm typing. On-screen keyboard should be up right now. So this is on-screen keyboard. Now, to be able to write index.html, any HTML file, you need a boilerplate code. This boilerplate code, you cannot be writing it from your head. There will be a lot of mistakes. So there is a way they have given it. There's a code that you press and then it will just automatically generate it for you. You will just change some settings. What is that code? Press your shift, hold it down, and then press this one. You see this one, this exclamation mark on top is what we need. And once you press it, it shows up on this on your screen in that editor like this. And once you have that, just come to your keyboard again and press tab. And once you press tab, you have all this code generated for you automatically. Okay. And after you have that, that means you have already created your boilerplate code. And don't forget that I said everything you want to show on your browser, you must put them inside the body tag. So inside this body tag, let me put a P tag. How do I put a P tag? Just type P. As you type the P, you will press tab, which is this one here, and then it will put your opening and closing for you. That's all that happens. I'm not the one that did all of them. All I did was type P. Then it guessed that maybe I want to type paragraph tag. Then you press tab. Then it will give you the opening and closing tag of paragraph. So inside the paragraph tag, I'm going to write, this is a test transmission. this is a text transmission, and then I will leave it like that. I'll save it by pressing Ctrl S, assuming you just press Ctrl S, then it will save. All right, the next thing I want to change, okay, let me not change it now. Let me not change it now, we'll change it later. Now let's see how this thing is looking in the browser. How is it looking in the browser? To be able to see it, I'll come to this Go Live button. You remember we installed the extension called Live Server the last time, which is this one. So once you install it, you have access to this one. So the file is opened, index.html. You click on Go Live, and then it's going to start and open your browser for you automatically. You don't need to do anything. So I can click this button at the middle here to make it smaller, and then it will come to the side. I can drag it and bring it to the side like this. This one, I can drag it to the side too, or I can close this part by clicking on this button. You can see it has closed. If you click it, it opens. If you click it, it closes. It opens, it closes. So I can close it and bring it back up. That is this first one here, to open and close that sidebar. Okay, so I can make this one wide a little bit like that. So this is the one that I've put. So assuming I want to put H1, for example, once you type H1, just press tab. You press H1 already, just press tab. Okay, it's not working because it has gone. So just press H1 again, H1, then press tab. Then it will give you this one. So type, this is a big text. This is a big text. And the moment you save it, you can see that there is something here, this white dot. Can you see that white dot here? This one, white dot. That white dot shows that you have not saved some things in that file. So to be able to save it, just press Ctrl S. You hold down the Ctrl while you press the S, and on the left hand side you will see that it is already showing. So that is a big text that you are seeing right there. Now we have text on the screen and it's showing like that. Now let's try and do some styles to it. I'm going to come back to this place, this Explorer button. Instead of extension, I'll be coming to Explorer now. When I open Explorer, I want to create another file called style.css. Why do we use .css? Because it's a CSS file that is used to beautify our web application. So I'm going to create a new file. You can see new file. If you don't know what each icon stands for, just be hovering on it. It will tell you what they stand for. So this one is new file. So the name is style.css. Once you do that, you press enter and it's going to give you a new file called style.css here. How do we style these things? So let's come to our index.html again. Let's pick this one. Assuming this is the one I want to style. I want this one to be red and I want this one to be another color. So this one is a paragraph tag. It is P that is inside that tag. So let me pick that P. Once you pick P, of course, as usual, just press space. Okay, let me use my own on-screen keyboard now. Now, once you press P, you use curly brace to define the kind of style that you want for it. So this curly brace, the one on top, this one below here are called square bracket. But this one is called curly braces. So I'm going to use this one in front of that P. How do I do it? I hold down the Shift key and then I press this one, and then it will create both the left and the right for me. Just by pressing the opening, it knows automatically that I must need the back one too at the end. So inside that place, I will now press enter to open it up, and then I can put my style inside this thing for the paragraph tag. So everything I put here now will affect the paragraph tag. Now here, let me say, don't forget that this P is affecting this guy here. So let me say I want to change the color. The color, once you get the color, you click on it and press enter. What are the colors? It will give you a lot of options. You don't need to remember their code. This is their code in front, but you don't need to remember. Just come here and pick the color. Let's say wheat. Okay, there's wheat color there. This is wheat color. Wheat color. Okay, so if that is wheat, let's save it and see what it looks like. Okay, it is not working yet. It's not wheat. Let's see if there is semo too, because this is wheat, then there should be semo now. There's no semo, but there's wheat, no problem. So let's say I want it to be coral. There's a color called coral. I want it to be coral. This one shows that I have not saved it, this sign here. So I'm going to save it now by pressing Ctrl S. And after I do that, it has saved, but it's still not showing on the screen. Why? Because I have not linked up my style with my index. I have to link them up together somehow, so that they can understand each other. So I will come back to my index.html and try to link my two files together. How? We have two sections here essentially. This is one, and this body is the other part. Those are the two parts we have. Everything we want to show on the screen, we are putting them inside the body tag. You can see there, that's where we put the P tag and the H1 tag. But every other instruction, we put them inside the head tag. So I'm going to come to under the head like this, at the back of opening tag of head, and press enter and type link. As I begin to type link, it gives me all these options. It gives me these options. I'll bring it up again by typing link, and then it gives me all these options. But the one I want to pick is link of CSS, because I'm trying to link my CSS files. So I will click on this one, and automatically it will create this line for me. I don't need to remember how it is done. To just automatically create this one. But one thing I have to know is that the name that is having here, which is style.css, must be the name of my CSS file right inside here. So if the name here is different, then you just change the name here to the name that you have here. Right now, everything is fine because I named this one style.css, and I'm seeing style.css here, and everything is just fine. I'm good to go. So when I save this one now, by pressing Ctrl S, it should show up on the screen. You can see that the color has changed. Let's do the same thing for the H1 tag. This is H1 tag. I want to style it. I'll press enter and pick H1, press space, then put my curly braces there. Put my curly brace and open it up by pressing enter. Let's say I want this one to have, let's say color of red. As I save it, the color of red will show up on the screen. Let's say I want the color to be blue, and as I save it, it's going to be on the screen. There's a color called burgundy, right? Those are selling clothes. Sell burgundy. Let me see if there's burgundy here. Oh boy, there's no burgundy here. So any color that is not here, you cannot use it. Any color that you are not seeing, you know, as you begin to type red now, it's bringing you something like this. If it's bringing you something like this, it means you can use it. And you can see that the color is brown, and the color of the text here too is brown. But if the color of the one on the right is not brown, you cannot use it. Let's, for example, that burgundy. You cannot use it because it does not know what color that is. Let's say there's custard yellow, right? There's custard yellow. It does not know custard yellow. He only knows yellow and yellow green. So if you pick this yellow green now, for example, and remove custard, you save it, and this is your yellow green that you have on the screen. So with this, we have been able to successfully install our VS Code. We have been able to link up our VS Code with our HTML, and it is showing up on the screen. And we have been able to install our extension, Live Server extension, which will be useful for us to be able to see our browser. So this is a short introductory video to just recap all those points and help us to be able to move faster when we meet in the afternoon later. Until we meet next time, which is by God's grace this afternoon by 4 p.m., I leave you in the hands of God, who is able to keep you from falling. Please practice all these things. Install your VS Code, install Live Server, connect them, pause the video as many times as you want, and then let's see you in class. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.